Start.
Okay, so we are live, waiting for participants now.
Okay.
So I do a quick introduction about yourself and the session, and then you continue. All right?
Perfect.
Excellent. So if you think that we can just start and then we make this session recorded, for the participant assist.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I will. One second. Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for joining this session. Today we have with us to Daniel Dallala, who will speak about Dynamics 365 sales roadmap. So thank you for joining this session. Daniel is a principal product manager at Microsoft Dynamics 365. He's a really experienced product manager with a demonstrated success working history in the tech industry. Also, he has an MBA, very focuses in technology and leadership from Carnegie Mellon University. That's correct, Daniel?
That is correct, yes.
Excellent. So, Daniel, please, the floor is all you. So please.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you for this introduction. So yes, my name is Daniel. So I'm a principal product manager at Microsoft, and yeah, I've been working on Dynamics 365 for the past 7 years since it used to be Dynamics CRM. So I'm fairly familiar with how the product has evolved over the last years. I remember when I joined the team, it was we were just starting our move from on-prem to online, and right now, with most of our customers being online, we can do so much more in terms of delivering capabilities and features and success for them in a way that we couldn't do previously. And so today I'm really excited to be able to talk to you about our latest investments and our latest roadmap, so you can better understand what's going on in Dynamics 365 sales and how can we make sales organizations more successful. So to be successful in B2B selling, I think it's important to understand customers, who they are and how to best engage them. This concept seems very simple, but evidently if it were that simple, I mean, every single seller and sales organization would be very successful, which is obviously not the case. Because keeping track of who you're talking to about what and when, and then adjusting your sales page based on their changing needs, on their current mood and sentiment, on the changing stakeholders, or any other factors is not trivial. And this has a specific impact on your probability of success. So sellers really must have this 360-degree view of customers, including not just information from their Salesforce automation system, but also from across the organization, including customer service and finance, and even from external sources, such as maybe on social media and demographic data about who they are. As an example, if they're millennials who are buying your product, perhaps they're likelier to engage in different channels than if they were perhaps baby boomers who prefer much more personal engagements. So this is really important to be aware of. So let me move to the next slide. Now, prior to the pandemic, there was already a shift underway in customer preferences from in-person to digital sales interaction. But still, making sense of the deluge of digital information and signals available is not easy. So today, successful organizations empower their sellers to act as trusted advisors by providing them with intelligent insights into what the customer wants and what the customer needs. In part, this means the technological boundaries between what was only available to inside sellers or only available to outside sellers really no longer exists. I think sellers need the ability to easily collaborate, bring in colleagues, and share contextual information for customers acting on their behalf as a single buyer or on behalf of a larger committee. It's only through internal collaboration and a keen understanding of the online and offline customer journey that sellers can transform into trusted advisors. So the average B2B buying committee has grown from 11 to 17 members over the past few years. Thus, it's even more this ability for buyers. So there's even more an ability for buyers to collect information and compare their notes with peers. This means that there's also this greater risk of conflict in these omni-channel models between inside sales, field sales, e-commerce, marketing, versus these offline transactions where we're almost one-to-one. So if the information provided through the various channels or the recommendation provided through the different touch points is not consistent or not personalized and individualized, your sales team is at risk of losing that sale or even losing the customer. So let's take a deeper look at the trends we just discussed. So I noted that buying committees have grown from an average of 11 to 17. So they spent almost 5 times more finding and evaluating information online than they do with the sellers directly. So 83% to 17%. So if the seller uses that small amount of time, the 17%, to provide them with more generic and general information, or with the information that they already found, the seller isn't really helping the committee make a buying decision. So potentially the seller might actually even damage the relationship by wasting people's time. And then effectively lose this opportunity. So even though customers are buying through the channels they choose, that doesn't mean that they're happy. Just a quarter of B2B customers say they're happy with the results of their purchase. Drivers of dissatisfaction from the other 3/4 include being unsure that they chose the best option. There's obviously the paradox of choice, concern about whether or not they got the best price. So maybe this lack of transparency in pricing, and uncertainty that they achieved the optimal timeline. And if they had an advisor that they trusted, that they really trusted to assist them in this buyer journey, that is a seller who makes a great use of that little 17% of the time that they have with the committee, chances are good that they would have had a higher satisfaction with the purchase. So organizations today understand this reality, or they must understand this reality. In fact, nearly half of sales leaders view accelerating pipeline and leads as a critical to their success. But they're at a loss about how to achieve this acceleration without losing that personal touch. So before we dig into like concrete use cases, I'd like to spend a minute talking about three themes that make our solution come to life for sales organization. First, individualized selling at scale involves helping sellers discover their next best opportunity from the customers and connections they already have. Second, intelligent collaboration brings together the organization to complete the sale faster. And lastly, end-to-end cohesion allows disparate customer-facing teams to coordinate and align to make the customer engagement successful. So these 3 activities work together to empower sales organizations and help meet the needs of customers. So as I mentioned, individualized selling at scale is all about increasing quantity and quality of leads, measuring the ROI of the outreach and events to focus resources on the most effective ones, and leveraging existing relationships to create new relationships, both within and outside of existing accounts. Based on our conversation up to now, I'm sure you won't be surprised to learn that 80% of customers reward businesses that provide personalized and individualized experiences by giving them even more business. Personalization is critical to a sales success, and Microsoft can help you deliver individualized selling at scale so your teams can unlock data to discover their next opportunity, win new customer with teamwork, and deliver end-to-end engagement across sales channels. So every organization has data, tons of data, but relatively few organizations actually do something with the data, mining it, gaining insights from it, and taking advantage from those insights. So C.H. Robinson is actually a pretty good example of an organization that does use that data. There are US professional service firms with over 10,000 employees that wanted to establish a more coordinated voice in the market by converting time that their sales staff spent chasing leads into engaging with customers. The company's previous CRM tools lacked integrations, make it really hard to find new opportunities, upsell and cross-sell, and deliver on the promises to customers. So with the Microsoft solution, the company gains deep insights into the sales pipeline health and of their opportunities and customers, so that their sales staff can personalize engagement and close deals faster and more successfully. They now have the information, insight, and processes to have more meaningful conversations. So how can you do this? So capabilities across our sales accelerator workspace, combined with predictive lead scoring, orchestrated with adaptive sequences where insights and action items are extracted from live conversations, really enable any organization to achieve these outsized results when they use Dynamics 365 sales. So here's a short video to show you what this product is in action. Let me just move here.
I'm going to take you through how these tools maximize my time and help me focus on what matters. I start my day reviewing new leads and opportunities in my work list. The list is prioritized for me using data and AI. I can easily spot who I need to contact next and review the suggested actions. As a sales rep, I can often get overwhelmed by all of the data clutter, and this view helps me get onto the phone quicker. As you can see, David is the next lead on my list. I want to prep for the call, and I can quickly see a summary of the previous call, scan highlights, action items. If needed, I can also go into the full transcript. Knowing this background ensures the customer feels they're not having to repeat themselves every time they speak to a Microsoft seller. Using Teams within Dynamics, I can go ahead and click to call to see if David is available.
So we were considering Power BI as an option.
Okay, perfect. Notice how I can keep within the same screen context with all my data on my customer without needing to jump between applications and still be able to access business data, transcript, and take any notes. Any business critical insight mentioned during the call is highlighted automatically for me so that I can clearly spot points of interest within seconds. While I collaborate in real time with the customer, no context is lost. I can keep my customer engaged while never missing a beat, and I now start to feel like I have a digital assistant doing the hard work of automatically capturing actions and notes while I just focus on the selling. As the call concludes, within seconds, I can see a rich call report, keyword highlights, flow of sentiment, and I can play back the recording. I can also schedule a follow-up on the action items. I used to hate the Friday afternoon tasks of writing up all my notes, but now most of that is already done for me and I can move on right away. With all this data and dynamics, the system can optimize and self-learn, providing me more insightful recommendations and help me maximize every deal. Now I'm happy with my summary and I can send a copy to my manager for my next coaching one-to-one and take a look at any trends or insights through the dashboard to help me drive improvements for my next call. And I can assist my manager as she looks to understand team progress and jump right on any feedback trends that improve our brand reputation. I'm going to take you through how these tools maximize.
Oops. All right. So even while selling at scale, a sale is never done. Selling is actually a team sport. So winning new customers through teamwork centers on merging in-person and digital selling, commonly referred to as hybrid selling, to connect sellers with customers through their preferred communication channel. So with Dynamics 365 Teams and Microsoft 365, sellers can seamlessly move between email, chat, voice, and video communication with customers from their company desktop or even native mobile applications. Sellers can also bring in resources from across the organization and across the globe in real time to ensure they have the most up-to-date context. Remember how we talked about needing to transition sellers into trusted advisors and helping committees make sense of the mountain of information that they have online? Well, this is how it happens, bringing in the right experts at the right time to help the customer progress through that sales funnel. The final piece to the puzzle for enabling individualized selling at scale is actually delivering this end-to-end engagement across the channels. So we talked earlier about the potential for channel conflict using an omni-channel approach. However, Microsoft empowers organizations to orchestrate the customer journey and ensure a consistent, unique, and personalized experience through at every touch point. So here's a video that I'm going to show you showing how intelligent collaboration, AI, and end-to-end engagement can bring a team together to successfully win a deal.
For most sales organizations, closing any deal requires a ton of different stakeholders across the company, the world, and business functions. Finding the right people to help close a deal is really hard. Timing is everything. Quickly bringing people together and sharing context is critical, and the new normal of hybrid work has made this even harder. Dynamics is a collaborative app, and it's got this. Daisy, a business banking relationship manager, needs to drive a deal to closure. She looks at an opportunity record in Dynamics 365 Sales. What's new is that she sees others active in the same opportunity. She's confident her team is also motivated to close this deal. Right from Dynamics, she starts a Microsoft Teams chat, which automatically links the chat conversation to this specific Dynamics opportunity, so the conversation history and files are available to everyone who sees it. The whole team is engaged and getting so much done. Amazing. She asks if anyone is familiar selling trade financing in this region, but unfortunately, no. Not knowing who can help on a deal is a huge challenge, especially in larger organizations. This is where AI can help. Microsoft Graph and Dataverse data are used to suggest people who can help. Daisy sees that David recently closed a similar deal. This would normally take weeks to find out. She starts another chat with David. David is an account manager and works a wide range of deals, but like most of us, he spends a lot of time collaborating from within teams. He sees Daisy's message, and even better, the opportunity she is asking about. That is so helpful. All the high-level details are right there, and if he needs more information, he can drill into the Dynamics record right from within Teams, where key insights of the relationship health, history of customer interactions, and even who else is actively engaged on the record are there for him to see. He gets up to speed quickly without having to ask Daisy, which saves time for everyone. As David chats with Daisy, he recalls a similar opportunity he worked on. In Teams, David can easily search across people, files, and Dynamics records. He finds what he is looking for without having to switch apps. He shares it with Daisy. Again, without having to navigate a URL or jump to a new browser window, she now has relevant information about a similar deal and contacts who can help her close the deal. And since adding people to the chat is also easy, it connects people from across the organization. Dynamics is a first-class collaboration app. But collaboration is more than just chat. Meetings, email, and calling are all integrated, so as the team moves between communication channels, context is still retained. To get her questions answered quickly, Daisy starts a video call right from Dynamics. The context of the opportunity, previous chats, and other related information are all available. This is especially valuable for the new people just joining the conversation. Now they can make updates to the opportunity record right in the Teams call and capture notes collaboratively. Dynamics automatically creates executive summaries, call highlights, and action items to make it easy to follow up and to retain information that would normally be lost. This is the power of Dynamics 365 as a collaborative app inside of Microsoft Teams. Daisy sees an insight captured from the call and generates an email to Dawn from the legal team. As Daisy mentions the opportunity, it makes sure that Daisy is referencing the right record. But for the people she is sending it to, this is even more valuable. Now, people across the organization, irrespective of whether they hold a Dynamics license, don't just see the opportunity name. They see key information around the opportunity. Everyone is brought into the deal room and can see important context like estimated revenue, opportunity health score, or activity history, while still addressing the access and permission settings of their organization. Flipping back to Dynamics, Daisy sees more people active in the deal, not only in Dynamics, but from Outlook and Teams. She has mobilized key people from across the organization to work together and close deals faster, even people she didn't know when she started her day. She sees a toast notification come through, highlighting that Don from legal added a note. He likes the approach and approves the proposal. It's so great to be alerted to key activities in progress. Daisy sends a high-five gift to the core team in the chat, saying they've locked the plan and have the right approvals to move forward. Hearts and thumbs-up emojis flow in. Instead of a bunch of individual sellers, they can be one company to their customers, providing a higher level of service and efficient decision-making to meet customer needs and close the deal, meaning more revenue and more growth for the company. Through deeper integration between Dynamics, Office, and Teams, sales processes are transformed with collaboration at the center.
All right, perfect. So I hope this was informative in terms of the direction that we're going as a company. So what have we seen in these videos today? And how did this tie back perhaps to Dynamics 365 sales and the 2021 release wave 2? So first, what we saw in the first video is the Sales Accelerator workspace. So this experience allows sellers to optimize their work by engaging the most valuable buyers at the right time, with the right context through multiple channels. So it presents sellers a sorted list of customers with associated next tasks, In this release, we are enhancing the work list to ensure sellers can focus on high-value selling tasks. We are bringing improvements to the way sellers can filter their lists and send multiple emails in one click. We are also updating sequences to include LinkedIn as a core information and communication channel. So now sellers can quickly pull up LinkedIn connected information on their prospects and quickly send messages using InMail. And finally, as part of Wave 2, we'll be delivering better lead routing capabilities to ensure the specific leads are routed to the best person who has the right skill set to address that lead. So we also saw that teamwork is critical to the sales cycle. Remote work and digital work is changing the way teams sell. So in this release, we are continuing to bring teams and dynamics much closer together. So effectively turning dynamics into a first-party collaboration application. So with embedded team, seller no longer have to switch apps when working on a deal to connect and collaborate. So right there in context, sellers can communicate with the key stakeholders of the opportunity or the account to get the information that they need. We're also bringing dynamics into Teams meetings. While on a conversation with customers, sellers can open a pane to get all the context of their current engagement and even update their notes in line. And finally, by using Teams as a dialer for phone calls, we are delivering real-time insights such as transcription, sentiment analysis, call summary, and intelligent actions using what we call conversation intelligence. So we also got a glimpse of what we're calling context IQ. So what is context IQ? In short, context IQ predicts what information you need right when you need it. So context IQ breaks down even more of those barriers between collaboration and business process, not just in Teams, but everywhere across Microsoft 365. For example, when composing an email in Outlook, it can identify the recipients and the context to intelligently predict which deals you want to share. And finally, we're also making investments across our mobile and relationship intelligence. So on the mobile side, we are improving the experience with end-to-end meeting capabilities using text or voice and brand new quick actions to follow up with the customer. With relationship intelligence, we're allowing organizations to leverage the full power of their Office graph to find the key contacts in target accounts and to identify the best connected colleagues to really get that warm introduction and again, optimize the opportunity for closing this deal. So during this discussion, we've seen how vital it is for B2B sales teams that are transitioning to a hybrid selling to be able to offer individualized selling at scale, accelerate revenue using AI, and collaborate across the organization. The everyday use cases shown here offer just a tangible way that you can unlock real-time data and insights for your sales team and sales organization and really make customers for life. So, but sales isn't really limited to just a handful of successful stories. I mean, here at Dynamics, we've been working with thousands of groups around the globe, from large multinational organizations to mid-sized and local businesses, governments, across industries and geographies to really help them deliver exceptional customer experiences. So with that said, I guess I'm gonna look and see if we have any questions or comments. I'll be happy to attempt to answer. So I'm opening the pane right now to see if I can read this. So I guess the question is around, is the transcript available in English only? So I suppose it will be available as well and be translated. So with that said, I'll give it another few seconds. If there are any other questions or comments, feel free to reach out. Else, we're going to end the call. All right, perfect. So with that said, thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure to be able to walk you through our Dynamics 365 sales roadmap. And if you have any questions or comments, I mean, you can reach me and let me know, and I'll be happy to help. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you, all of you, for participating in this session, and thank you, Daniel, for bringing us some new overview about the new Dynamics 365 for Sales roadmap. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.